What would you do if the world underestimated you, only to discover you held the power to stop it in its tracks? Amara Steele, a 42-year-old tech mogul, stood in the bustling terminal of JFK International, her tailored blazer crisp, her eyes sharp with purpose. As the CEO of Horizon Innovations, she'd built a multi-billion-dollar empire from nothing but grit and vision. Today, she was en route to a global summit in London, where her keynote would redefine AI ethics. Her boarding pass was first class, her demeanor unshakable until the gate agent's voice cut through the hum of the crowd. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but there's an issue with your ticket. You'll need to step aside." The agent's tone was clipped, her eyes avoiding Amara's. Whispers rippled through the line. Amara's brow furrowed, but she complied, clutching her briefcase. Minutes later, a security officer approached, his badge glinting under the fluorescent lights. "You're not on this flight," he said, gesturing toward the exit. No explanation, no apology, just a cold dismissal. Humiliation burned in Amara's chest, but she held her head high as she was escorted from the gate. Passengers stared, some smirked, others averted their eyes. She overheard a muttered, "Probably oversold the seat." But Amara knew better. She'd faced this before, the subtle sting of prejudice cloaked in bureaucracy. As a black woman in a world of glass ceilings, she'd learned to navigate these slights with precision. But this was different. This was public, deliberate, and personal. Outside the gate, Amara's phone buzzed. A text from her assistant, Maya. "They gave your seat to a VIP. Some board member's nephew. I'm digging into it." Amara's jaw tightened. She wasn't just any passenger. She was a titan, and this airline, Skypulse Airways, had just crossed a line they couldn't uncross. 15 minutes later, Amara stood on the tarmac, the wind tugging at her scarf. She'd made a call not to her lawyer, not to the media, but to her network. Horizon Innovations didn't just build AI. It controlled critical aviation software, including the scheduling system Skypulse relied on. With one encrypted command from her phone, Amara could halt their operations. And she did. The runway fell silent. Planes idled, their engines stilled. Ground crews scrambled, confused, as departure boards flickered to delayed. Inside the terminal, chaos erupted, passengers shouting, staff fumbling for answers. Amara watched from the tarmac, her heart pounding with a mix of rage and resolve. She wasn't here to gloat. She was here to teach a lesson. Then, a new figure emerged from the terminal. A young woman, no older than 25, in a Skypulse uniform, approached hesitantly. "Ms. Steele," she said, her voice trembling. "I'm Lena, a junior supervisor. I saw what happened. It wasn't right." Lena's eyes darted nervously, but her words were steady. "I overheard the gate manager. They targeted you because, well, you know why. I have pro for recording." She held up her phone, her hands shaking. "I could lose my job, but I couldn't stay silent." Amara's breath caught. This wasn't just her fight anymore. Lena, risking everything, had shifted the narrative. Amara took the phone, her mind racing. The recording was damning clear evidence of racial bias from the gate manager, laced with smug entitlement. It was the kind of proof that could topple empires, or at least ground them for good. "Lena," Amara said softly, "you're braver than you know." She handed the phone back. "Keep this safe. We'll use it, but not yet." Amara's plan was bigger than one manager's downfall. She wanted systemic change, not just a headline. With Lena's evidence in hand, Amara made another call, this time to Skypulse CEO. Her voice was calm but unyielding. "You have 1 hour to issue a public apology, reinstate my seat, and fire the manager responsible. If not, your airline stays grounded. Permanently." The CEO stammered, caught off guard by her leverage. Amara's software wasn't just a tool. It was the backbone of their operations. She held their lifeline. Within 45 minutes, the apology was broadcast across Skypulse social media, the manager was sacked, and Amara was escorted back to her first-class seat. But she didn't board. Instead, she turned to Lena, who stood nervously nearby. "You're coming with me," Amara said. "Horizon could use someone with your courage." Lena's eyes widened, a spark of hope replacing her fear. As Amara walked away from the plane, the runway buzzed back to life, but the lesson lingered. She hadn't just grounded an airline. She'd grounded their arrogance. Power, she knew, wasn't just in wealth or tech, it was in standing up, in lifting others, in demanding respect. Lena's recording would spark investigations, reforms, and conversations that rippled far beyond the tarmac. Amara glanced back at the plane, now boarding without her. She didn't need to fly to London to change the world. She'd already done it, right there on the ground. Yindi,